So, good morning, good night, good evening, depending where you are in this world. And welcome to a brand new episode of Is It That Bad? Where we take a look at an album that maybe got mixed reviews. We listen to it and we decide to like why was it that bad? And like we hear it with fresh ears. So today we're gonna talk about a band that we talked about one album already from them on the channel. So, but it was time to revisit another album. So, on this episode, I'm joined. I have Rocco. How are you, Rocco?
I'm doing okay, thank you.
Yeah. Uh, and we have Tom the Green Man. How are
Hello,
you, Tom?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking forward to talking all things Korn
Yes.
again.
Yes. Oh, and we're talking about we're going on a path to totality. Yes, that Korn album. Actually, this came out in December. Like at the beginning of December, was it? I think 2011. No, it
2011,
was
yes.
yes, December 2011. I remember because this album came out like in December, and I already had like my year list, and I'm like, oh god damn it, now they released an album. So this is Korn, The Path of Totality. So this is an album that sounds different because Korn tried to do like a new sound. This is the album cover, which is also a different album cover. It's like pretty like what the kids today call basic. So
It kind of
it's
has a Hollywood sign feel to it.
Yeah.
yes, but it says Korn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the album, and so I'm gonna share what Jonathan Davis said about this album when it came out. So basically, here's the gist, but he's saying that this album they were trying to use dubstep and electronic music because they said that this was the future of metal, that this is what metal would sound like in the future. And I'm sorry, Jonathan Davis, but uh, metal doesn't sound like that in 2025. So,
No.
uh, so yeah. So, and this is the only album where Korn actually did this sound. After that, they like on the paradigm shift, they had like a few electronic stuff, but they abandoned this after this. So this is like a one-off. Uh, so it's a perfect album to discuss on Is It That Bad? And the critics were mixed at best, but I was surprised that one critic actually liked it because this guy doesn't like everything. And of course, I'm talking about Anthony Fantano, the music nerd.
Oh,
Wow.
He
wow.
gave it a decent 8.
He gave Ohms by Deftones a 4.
Yes, I know, which is total BS in my opinion,
Yeah.
but he gave this a decent 8.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
it is very interesting that he gave this an 8, and
Mm.
he's given some some Deftones albums like a truly atrocious rating. So yeah, so it's interesting. It got mixed back, but other I went on Wikipedia. Other there's some people that gave it an F. So so it got mixed reviews at best. So yes, we're gonna we have the 3 rounds. On the first round, we'll give our first impressions of where we listen to this. Then the second round, we're gonna pick maybe 3 songs that we think are the weakest. And on the third and final round, we give our final impressions of this album, and we vote thumbs up, thumbs sideways, or thumbs down. So for this one, let's start with Tom the Green Man, Rocco, and then me. So Tom, your first impressions.
Yeah, so when I checked this out, for context, I knew one of the singles on here, Get Up, featuring Skrillex, and I think that's because I got into that song when I used to go to a metal night in London, in Camden, and they used to play that song. And I actually quite like that song. So I remember thinking, this is Korn, is it? Okay, this is a little bit different. I could tell though with the Jonathan Davis chorus that yes, this is indeed Korn. but it sounded very kind of odd. And I thought, okay, well, this is a departure from their usual sound. They're obviously experimenting. And at this point, it being 2011, it kind of makes sense. You know, Korn have kind of had their era of establishing themselves, you know, putting out very popular albums, commercially successful albums. And they're kind of at the point where they want to try something a little different. And obviously this was the experiment. This was what people call the dubstep album. Personally, when it comes to electronic music, my first impression, particularly, I'm not a dubstep fan, so I do like electronic music, but this isn't my kind of electronic music. I like more moodier stuff, synth, ambient stuff, all that kind of stuff is more my electronic scene. This more sort of in your face type, aggressive electronic style, much less for me. But I'll save further thoughts for later on whether that affects my judgment of the album as a whole. But yeah, it was sort of just noticing. Obviously, the rest of this album is kind of in that style, and yeah, I sort of have, you know, a first impression of intrigue, I guess, to some extent. Yeah.
Nice. Good first impressions, Tom. What about you, Rocco?
I made an interesting discovery. Earlier in 2011, there was a metal band called Tombs that also released an album called Path of Totality. It came out in June. This Korn album came out in December of that year. Spoiler alert, listen to the Tombs album instead. I think I Oh, you were saying, Hector?
Did you listen to the Korn album?
I listened to both albums.
Oh, okay. What's the other band? Tombs?
Tombs.
Tombs. I think I've listened to that band, but I didn't know they put out an album called The Path of Totality.
Yes. Weird coincidence. Anyway,
Yeah.
I think I've heard the singles from Korn's album before, but if I did, then I didn't remember them. We've said before that on paper, we're in favor of bands experimenting. However, I think some experiments just on paper are so obviously not going to work that they shouldn't be tried. You mentioned that quote from Jonathan Davis saying, "This is what metal is going to sound like in the future." No, metal is, I mean, you have like synths in metal with bands like Bad Omens and Sleep Token, but nothing that sounds like this. Dubstep went out of favor pretty quickly. Uh,
Yeah, dubstep lasted like 2 minutes.
yeah. Then again, what do I know? Get Up and Narcissistic Cannibal were still radio hits for the band. Not huge hits like Here to Stay or Coming Undone, but still hits. Uh,
I love Here to Stay so much. I
oh,
can
that's a
never
great
get
song.
enough. That's such
Yeah.
a great song. Yeah.
Yeah. I really didn't know what to make of this album on first listen, except that whatever impression I had, it wasn't necessarily positive.
Nice. So actually, Chaos Lives in Everything was also a
Single,
single.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't get radio play.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, the big
Yeah,
ones
I'd
were
say
Get
that
Up
one's
and Narcissistic. The
yeah.
big ones were Get Up and Narcissistic
Yeah.
Cannibal.
Yeah, yeah. Get up. Yeah, get up. That's the song. If I go to a restaurant and someone is sitting on my chair, I'm like, get the fuck up, get up. Maybe try it once in a while. It would be fun. Tom, do it like get the fuck up, get up. But yeah, so good first impressions. So I actually did listen to this album when it came out, and I actually did like it when it came out. Uh, so, but I hadn't revisited it in a long time. I just remember Narcissistic Cannibal, Get Up, and Chaos Lives in Everything. The rest of the album, I didn't remember. But the bold thing about this is that this is my fault. When you do experimentation, maybe have two songs on that with that style and have other or incorporate it to your Korn sound, but have a complete dubstep sound. It's too much, like they went full dubstep. You do you put a little bit. You don't do like a drastic change. Like this was a drastic change. And when I was listening to it, maybe I was thinking maybe this is like would this be like a Dark Horse territory? Like Dark Horse isn't that bad. the, the the crossover
Yeah.
since we have Tom. because this is an album that sometimes when I was listening to it now, I thought this should have been a Jonathan Davis solo album.
And the thing is, his actual solo album is much better than this.
I remember the solo album. Yeah, I had some cool stuff, but because I'm thinking this was Jonathan Davis' idea to have this album like that. I don't think the rest of the rest of the band feels like they're somewhere in there, but they're like lost. So it doesn't feel like a Korn album. It feels like dubstep with Jonathan Davis vocals.
Yeah.
When it came out, I enjoyed it, but like re-listening to it, like more than 10 years after, yeah, I question how much I liked it, and I question Anthony Fantano's 8, really an 8, and you give Ohms by Deftones a 4. So I did listen to it when it came out. I enjoyed it more then than now. There's still stuff that I enjoy from this record, but I'm reviewing this record not as a Korn album. I'm looking at it more as like a Jonathan Davis solo album that just wasn't named a solo album. And they put Korn because it would sell more if it says Korn. But yeah, my first impressions right now listening to it is like, yeah, it's 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 an interesting concept, but it has some flaws. So we'll discuss that on the next round. So let's go to round two, where we talk about songs that we think are the weakest. So Tom, which songs did you pick?
Yeah, so I think with the interesting thing is with Take a Look in the Mirror, when we talked about that on Dark Horse Discs, it was the
Mhm.
middle tracks which I picked as my favorites. On this album, it's the middle tracks which are my least favorites. So with that in mind, Illuminati is my first choice, which just kind of just feels like it's just going through the motions musically. There's not even one of the high points, I think, or of this album are the Jonathan Davis vocal moments. They grab my attention. They're usually very good, but on these selections, on this track in particular, I just find nothing about his vocal here that really grabs me like it does with some of the ways he sings on the other songs. I just found it uninteresting. No sort of real hooks in here either for me with the dubstep or with instrumentals. So yeah, that's my first choice, Illuminati. Burn the Obedient had a very weird sound in it that sounded like a children's toy squeaking. It was like, it's just so bizarre that put me off the track almost from the word go. When I heard that, I was just, and it came back a few times in the song, and didn't like the song that much anyway, to be honest. So Burn the Obedient was another choice of mine because it had that really jarring sound in it. And Sanctuary, my third choice, a bit like Illuminati, this one. Didn't really feel like it did anything to put me into the song instrumentally. No Jonathan Davis vocal moment, which again, I'll repeat myself, but the redeeming feature for me of this record are his moments. And there wasn't kind of on this song again anything that I particularly enjoyed or gravitated towards. I feel like these songs were sort of, yeah, just all of the mediocre part of the record for me. So yeah, those are my three songs.
Did you pick 4 or 3?
Oh, I just picked three. Was I meant to pick four?
No, no, you can pick
Oh,
it.
sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
yeah.
three. Just three.
Okay, good choices. So Rocco, but what about you?
Um, Tom picks Burn the Obedient. Consider that a dishonorable mention. Uh, Third least favorite is Narcissistic Cannibal. I don't know why this was chosen as a single. What I do know is that, like a lot of the album, it is so dated. The second least favorite I picked is Way Too Far, which was also a single, but it flopped. And
Yeah.
thank goodness for that because it sounds awful. And my least favorite song on the album is My Wall. There is probably a version of the song that could be great, but it doesn't sound like this. It's dated and it sounds awful, so it's the worst of both worlds.
Hmm. I thought that was all
Also the lyrics. I put my wall each day.
right.
Now, there is only one band who makes songs about a wall that you should listen to.
Ah,
Pink Floyd.
there,
Exactly.
yeah. But just don't listen to Roger Waters.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, interesting pick. So uh let's go with my picks. I also picked My Wall because it's just so boring. I'm like, I put my wall up each day. It looks like a wall. Like, I don't know. It was just boring, and the music is quite. I don't know. It's uninspired, and this is. I have this problem with this album. When I listen to it, it sounds dated.
Mm.
This is the major problem. It sounds dated, and I knew back then. Skrillex was hot. Skrillex had a party here in Puerto Rico in 2012, like it was full, and people Skrillex, Skrillex. Like, where the fuck is Skrillex now?
The thing is, Skrillex has actually like moved on to other genres, and he's actually pretty good. But
Yeah.
like, he was the face of dubstep back in
He
the day.
was, and then he realized, yeah, maybe dubstep has like a shelf life,
Yeah. So
and
like,
maybe I
no,
should
he's not untalented as a producer.
no. No. So I got My Wall. I put and the next two songs features someone named Noisia. I don't know who Noisia is, but I'm sorry, your songs are like suck. Like I picked Let's Go because it's just so stupid. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
That was my favorite song on the album.
Let's go. It's stupid as fuck.
You know what? I can get behind it. I can imagine them playing it live and the mosh pit going crazy.
Yeah, no, I rather hear instead of Let's Go, Are you ready?
Oh yeah, just yeah. I'd rather them play any of the older Korn songs
Oh
instead.
yeah. And I picked Kill Mercy Within, also with Noisia. Uh,
Oh, that was all right.
I I thought it was boring, bland. But if I picked a fourth one, I think Illuminati would be there too, because it's just I don't know, it's kind of bland. And I agree with Tom that the best thing about this album is some of Jonathan David's vocals, but sometimes I think this dubstep electronic music is a disservice to his vocals
Mm.
because he's trying to sound vulnerable, and then you have the bong, 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 and it like deflates the purpose of
Mm.
the music in a way. So
Counterpoint. There's a Dead Mouse song. Dead Mouse being another dubstep producer who was big at the time. He had a song with Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance, and that song I thought was really good. So like,
I remember that mouse. That music he also played here some shows.
yeah. So like the combination can work, but it didn't work on this album.
Yeah. So let's go to the third and final round where we give our final impressions and we vote. So Tom,
Yeah. I don't know what you guys are going to vote, but for me, I found this album, even though it's a weird contrast with Jonathan's vocals and the very forced like dubstep sound in a lot of it, with all of that going on, compared to so many other albums in this series, I found this listenable personally, and I actually did find myself enjoying it just about enough to keep it alive, I think, and to save it from the trash pile of a lot of the other albums that have gone and been voted into the fires of Is It That Bad? So for me, I think I'm gonna. It's a weak thumbs up. Like it's a weak thumbs up.
it's
A
a
limp,
tilt.
a
It's
limp
what you
thumb, a
call
limp thumbs up.
a tilted thumbs up.
Yeah. Um, I did enjoy like the singles particularly. Like I know Rocco was your least favorite song, Narcissistic Cannibal. That was my
I
That
favorite.
was
love
my
that
third
song.
least favorite.
That was my favorite one. Okay, that was my favorite.
Okay.
Chaos of It Lives in Everything I quite liked as an opening song. Yeah,
That one's okay. That one's in the middle for me.
yeah, and Get Up I just had some fun with, and I really liked the Jonathan Davis. I remember enjoying that song when I heard it for the first time, actually thinking, okay, that was weird, but I liked the Jonathan Davis chorus enough. And for me, that's the thing that saves it. I think had this not had Jonathan Davis on it, this album I probably would vote down. So it's literally Jonathan Davis has saved this one for me. Otherwise, I would not have voted it up at all. I think it would have been a vote down for me. So it's interesting how Jonathan Davis, you just about saved this one, buddy, but only just, only just. Not that he's watching, but yeah.
Yeah. So good. We got a new one. A thumbs up tilted. That's
A half-hearted thumbs up.
we're gonna call this the Tower of Pisa. It's leaning.
No, the smooth criminal thumbs up.
The smooth criminal thumbs up. So we got a slightly thumbs up. So Rocco, what's your final thoughts and vote?
I think this is an unfortunate case of hopping on trends, which is even more unfortunate because Korn arguably started the whole trend of nu metal, or at least they were big contributors to it.
Yeah.
Regardless, Korn is at their best when they sound like Korn. And this was very, very far from that. So I'm giving it a thumbs down.
Okay. So we got a thumbs slightly up, a thumbs down. So for me, I've heard worse albums. I think the problem with this album is that it sounds dated
It's
and
aged badly. Yeah.
it sounds very dated. And I think this should have been more of like a Jonathan Davis solo album because you could hardly hear the band here. But having said that, I did enjoy. I was having fun enjoying some of these songs for what they are. So I don't think it's like terrible, but I also don't think it's great. It's kind of a mixed bag territory. So I'm going with a thumb sideways for this one.
What does that mean, though? We've had a
Yeah.
sideways, an up, and a down. Does that mean it's safe?
That means this album is undecided. We don't know.
It's in purgatory.
It's like because we got a thumbs up, a thumbs down, and a thumbs sideways. So we don't have a fourth person here to vote. So
No. Our verdict is
JC.
go. Our verdict is go listen to Follow the Leader instead.
yeah. So I think this album. The thing is, I don't think it's that bad, but I do think it's dated. So it's an album that it's like there. It's like slightly there. And my thumb sideways. I'll do a thumb sideways, slightly up. Yes. My song asking me for cake. Yes, you can have cake. But
Ooh. I'd rather have cake than listen to this album.
yes, I'll be.
Oh.
Okay. Yes. Okay. There they are, my kids.
Oh.
Okay. I'll be right there. Okay.
All right.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I'll have to. So yes.
Kids, go listen to Untouchables.
Yes. So we had
Take
Valentina.
it
What do you
to
think of the Korn album?
Casting.
Will you give it a thumbs up, thumbs sideways, or thumbs down? She's giving it the hand. So
Yes.
this album is slightly safe, but it is the definition of mixed reviews. So yes. So I think it's time to wrap up. So like people vote. What do you think of Korn's album? Vote down below. So until next time, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.